Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106, along with my tag team partner in podcasting. Everybody, please welcome to the show the Heartbreak Kid, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning, Rob. But it seems to me that if anybody's going to be doing any heartbreaking today, it's you in that T-shirt, pal.
It's new. This is a debut. Never worn this one before.
I love that one, Heartbreak Kid style.
I think Brittany got it for cheap around Christmas time.
You don't see many Shawn Michaels shirts like that. You see Shawn Michaels shirts like DX type shirts and stuff like. But it's hard to find a shirt that goes back to the Heartbreak Kid days, which were arguably his best days.
Oh yeah, I loved his. When I think back to my favorite Shawn Michaels, it was the heel Heartbreak Kid, the one from like 90, like barbershop window through the face turn. I loved the one that feuded with Razor Ramon and Mr. Perfect and all that stuff.
He had the Rocker's hair with the heartbreak attitude.
He had a little bit of a chubby gut going on. It was just great.
Was that the one with Scary Sherry?
It started with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good morning, pal.
Morning, pal. So now, listen, the problem that we ran into yesterday with the people running around and everything turned out to be a pretty serious issue at the radio station.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened again today, but it happened earlier. So I think we're out of the woods.
What was going on?
Basically, a syndicated morning show for the radio station whose studio I use right now. It's the Elvis Duran show. It never clicked off. Like the satellite
it missed the cue.
It missed the cue. And so it went right from Elvis Duran to the Dan Le Batard show, which is an ESPN program. And that was running instead of music. It never came back from syndication. It just kept going, but nobody caught it until it was like 10:50 when people started coming in and looking and everything. And that's 50 minutes of whoops, we're not playing any music.
Wait a minute. If it's Elvis Duran, that must have been on like a pop station.
Yeah.
And they're playing sports talk instead of, oh, that's tough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's a top 40 station, and we whoopsie daisy.
So I would like to think
they caught it today at 10:05.
I would like to think if we started playing sports talk instead of pop music on Kiss, we would definitely know within that first hour.
Well, you'd think the problem was, and this is where eggs on my face. No one was monitoring at their desks, I guess, and I was the one in the studio. See, and I wasn't listening to the radio station. In fact, I had everything turned down so I could do my wrestling podcast for another radio station in Evansville, Indiana.
Well, Jim, we're glad that you do, because we love having you on here.
Imagine me when they're like, "How did this happen? Why didn't anybody hear it?" And I'm just like, I was doing production and I wasn't listening. I'm so sorry.
Let me put this into perspective for a moment, if I could. And I don't mean to talk badly about the station that may have gone 50 minutes playing the sports talk.
No, go. You can say whatever you want, bub.
If Jerry's echoing, we usually know within 3 minutes on post to post.
Unfortunately, Steve and Mike don't listen to Magic 93.7.
All right, let's get into. Thank you for that wonderful update about the end of yesterday's show.
Absolutely. So I'm sorry it ended that way, but here we go. We're ready to talk about SmackDown.
Guys, when we say it's part wrestling and part radio podcast, that's the radio part of it. That's sometimes you just got to get yanked away, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Right. It can't be all wrestling all the time. Sometimes we got to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, like radio.
So,
watch SmackDown last night. Curious, you were more excited for this show than me, so I'm going to let you get things started today.
I was excited for the show, and largely was not disappointed. I enjoyed it. It was again, SmackDown has the immediate edge on all Raws because it's an hour shorter. That always helps them. But I'm just more engaged with their talent at this point, and I'm more engaged with a lot of their storylines. And that's just, I mean, the biggest storyline on Raw for me involves the two women from SmackDown. Really, it's how it goes. The one that everyone was focusing on that I didn't really care about much, they turned me yesterday. The Miz cut one of the best promos I've seen him ever cut. I thought that was a great start for The Miz. Made me care about a program with Shane McMahon that I didn't really care about all that much.
By the way, I think that promo gave me the ending. I think I know how the feud's going to end. I read nothing.
Okay.
Why? Do you have a thought too?
No, I really didn't. I just kind of like blindly led into it. I noticed he was talking a lot about Vince McMahon and Shane, so I thought, you know, Vince and Shane are gonna. I was like, oh God, are we gonna get a tag match with the dads?
I mean, that's one way it could go. I have a little bit of a different take on it, and it was just a wild hair. Again, this is something totally out of my brain. If I steal something from the internet, I tell you, but this one's all me.
Okay, let's hear it, baby.
I think here's where we're going. I think that Miz might get a victory over Shane, to which Miz's dad will be ecstatic, and Miz will be ecstatic.
Okay.
And then, as ecstatic as Miz and Mr. Mizanin are, Vince will be very upset and disappointed in his son Shane, potentially leading to Shane's termination. Oh, that would be great. That's feel good on two fronts. And then he'll be gone for a little bit and then come back surely by WrestleMania next year. Of course. Or Survivor Series. What do you think? Is that show too? Is that crazy or not? That's good booking, man. It's so good that they won't do it. Well, my only question is, do they want Shane to take a TV hiatus or not? Right. I would like them to, but since they don't have any authority figures anymore, I think they need them on there to be an authority figure. Since they made the announcement that they're not going to do that. Yeah, so that's what I took from the Miz promo. The way they were talking about the importance of the dads and stuff. I just had this epiphany hit me where I think they're going to wind up going with it. It makes total sense. But the more I look at this WrestleMania card, they're setting us up for a lot of huge feel-good moments. And they're not going to deliver on all of them. Nor should they. No, nor should they. So you got to figure, where are they going to pay the feel-good? Because Miz getting revenge would be feel-good. Kofi is like the one huge feel-good that I think that they're really, really going to get to. Becky Lynch would be like the big moment of redemption feel-good, and the same with Seth Rollins. Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle is another one. Rey Mysterio Jr. to a lesser degree. I mean, you're going to have Dominic not on a pole this time. He's going to be on a chair at ringside, and I'm waiting for Samoa Joe to say he's his dad. That would be awesome. It'd be amazing. He already basically said he was banging around on AJ Styles' wife. I'll be your daddy. I'll be daddy. Did you watch the R. Kelly documentary? Oh, please. No, I didn't. That dude creeps me out on levels I can't even. Okay, I didn't know if you're. Well, part of the revelations were that he makes all of his women refer to him as daddy. It's the worst. You should watch it. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, ironically, if I watch it, I'll do it in the bathroom while I'm taking a pee. Well, it's 6 episodes, so it's going to take. He might need to take a number 2. Take a lot of pees. Do you get it? I get it. I get it. Because he peed. I get it. Nobody get it. Hashtag he peed. I think everybody gets. It's like talking about taking a baseball bat to a pound of beef or whatever. If we all know what you're talking about. While I'm taking a hashtag pee. So anyways, like largely, I just think that there are a lot of opportunities for the WWE to send the fans home happy, but I just don't think they're going to do it on all of them. So I'm interested to see where they deliver. By the way, now here's something I have been seeing online reports of, and I don't even need to ask anybody how they feel about this. were all pissed off about it.
17 matches.
Well, I'm assuming you've seen that this is supposed to be the longest pay-per-view in the history of time.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
Especially after last year's was literally, I think, over 8 hours.
I think I've seen something that said 9, maybe. I mean, I'm supposed to go to a friend's house to watch this, and like, do I need to bring a sleeping bag? Like, honestly, this is annoying.
I was going to invite some people over to watch it, but I don't want anyone in my house that long.
9 hours is a long time to be at somebody's house.
It's a long time. It's like I was at your house a little longer than that, and I stayed the weekend.
And we only had time to watch 1.5 WrestleManias. So, I mean, yeah.
Sorry, buddy, we can't go to Kentucky Kingdom today. We've got to watch WrestleMania.
So, I mean, like, yeah, when will they get the hint? I thought they were maybe starting to get it because the pay-per-views have been going less than 4 hours, which I've been appreciating.
Yeah.
But man, if they give me 9 hours of Mania,
let's hope that they don't. But there are a lot of matches on there. A lot of them. So yeah, SmackDown. I like SmackDown more than Raw. I'll go ahead and give you that.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree, but I have thoughts.
Well, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. You want to just walk down through it? I mean, we did the Miz promo. I thought that was a great promo. Then we get into Bayley and Sasha versus the Iconics.
That stuff just wasn't good.
Just get me through it. Just get me through that. Go. I'll go ahead and surprise a lot of people and say that I thought the Kevin Owens show with Becky and Charlotte wasn't very good.
I don't know if I agree with that either. I thought that was probably the highlight of the show for me.
Not me. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like the Kevin Owens show. Maybe it's because he basically said because of Kofi Mania, he's not going to do KO Mania shirts this year, and that pisses me off. I like the KO show logo. I like his interview style. I like the brawl. I just, for the most part, I don't know. I didn't love it. I was like, okay. It didn't. For three people that I care about on my TV at the same time, and for me to not really care that much.
I thought it was a little lazy, but well done for what they had to do. I like that Kevin read the quotes about what all three women were saying about each other. I thought that was a good way to remind people how personal this has become. And I think they want to keep the heat. And this is kind of why it's making more sense to have the three women. Because when WrestleMania is over, the story is going to be Becky and Charlotte. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to be the Brett and Shawn of this feud.
Is it confirmed? Is Ronda really gone then after Mania? Are we sure of that?
It's not over till it's over, but I'm pretty sure that's the plan. And then, which, I mean, honestly, she's not doing a bad job, but I'm not positive how much more we need of her.
She's done a very good job doing the role she's in. But if she took a break and just came back every once in a while, I'd be okay with it.
I like having her as a weekly face, to be honest with you. Some people think that that's too much. And I know that it's weird coming from the Brock Lesnar supporter of the show, but I think she's kind of good every week.
I like her, but if they got rid of her for a while, that'd be okay if she comes back, you know?
Maybe.
She'll still be under contract, isn't she? Or is she not?
I'm confused about. I've seen conflicting reports about what her contract allows and doesn't allow for. But I thought that I just thought it was a little lame the way, but maybe not. I don't know. The ending of that segment I just thought was a little weird.
He basically said, go ahead and fight. And then he stepped out of the ring and then they did.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it could have been, maybe it was fine. I don't know. I didn't mind it.
It was fine. I mean, as far as interview segments go, KO show is greater than Moment of Bliss. Better than that.
I like when Alexa Bliss is all dressed up in street clothes.
Yeah, but I never got to my thought on that yesterday from Raw. You know how it reminded me of college because like it was an okay segment, but not because of any one person. It was all of them together. You know, you had the conga line and you had Elias and then you had Alexa Bliss and so all this nonsense. It's like you don't have sex with a 10, you have sex with 5 2s and that's serviceable. That's kind of what that segment was to me. It was like 5 2s all working together and it did its thing. I'll tell you who's a 10.
Go ahead.
Daniel Bryan.
Because I've always heard the expressions 2 5s is as good as a 10. I like that you really just you one-upped it and you went 5 2s is as good as sleeping with a 10.
2 5s. Come on. That's
dumb. I'm sorry.
Day to 5, man. 5 2s. 10. There were nights at Crowbar when I worked for Quick Rock and it was 10 1s. 20 halves.
Jerry's making a joke. The day I lost my virginity was a woman I took home from the Crowbar.
Listen, that place was great. I might as well have thrown my pecker in the dumpster. A couple of nights I'd have been better off, but that place was great.
Oh, I love the Crowbar. We saw Guar at the Crowbar.
So we sure did. Didn't they bring Michael Jackson out and kill him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I remember I had the blood of an unborn Connor Peterson sprayed on me. Connor Peterson, I don't even want to get into who that was.
No, just Google it.
Just Google Connor Peterson, exactly, if you don't know who it is.
And if you're really confused as to why Rob was covered in that unborn baby's blood, just Google Guar concert, and you'll get all the answers that you need.
Yeah, I wonder if since the days of Beavis and Butthead, if people even know who or what Guar is.
I don't know if they know what Guar is. They don't know what a sexecutioner is. They go to concerts now, not even expecting to get any intergalactic jism all over the place, but that's going to happen, man.
But you know what? Even at the Guar concerts, everyone went home alive. And I'm not even sure it's safe to say that anymore.
But never, ever wear anything other than like work jeans and a white T-shirt to a Guar concert.
You should definitely wear a white T-shirt, but yeah, don't dress up for it.
Your clothes are getting ruined, pal.
Why don't we talk about? I mean, there's really only one more segment to talk about. There's no point in singling out every match.
No, let's talk about Daniel Bryan. Let's talk about the fact that every time he's on my TV screen, I get super pumped. He is amazing in this role. The expressions, the look on his face. The way that Rowan towers over him and he's calling all the shots, telling everybody, I love it. I love it. I loved it, his promo at the beginning, and then I loved it at the end when he comes out and he walks by Xavier and Big E, and he just gives him these looks like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Everybody's bigger than me. I'm Daniel Bryan. What are you going to do about it?
I love your enthusiasm for that. I was going to talk about a different aspect of it, and I don't want to come off as annoying. So this is 100% down to the letter how I thought this was going to go today. Or yesterday, I should say. I thought Kofi was going to beat all 5 guys, but 5 didn't seem like a round enough number for me. So I thought he'd survive all 5, and then Vince McMahon would bring out a 6th guy, and I thought the 6th guy would be Daniel Bryan.
I did not. I thought that we were going to get the same kind of ending, just like, sorry, Kofi, you're not going to get it. I didn't think that there was going to be a bonus screw job at the end.
I did.
I thought he was going to get stumbled up at number 5 or whatever, until it was Randy Orton. When Randy Orton was the last guy, I thought Kofi's going to win this because of AJ Styles. But they didn't do that either. He just beat all 5 guys, and it was good. It wasn't the best Gauntlet match that we've seen in a couple of years, but it was good.
I wanted to say he did. People talk about you hear the Russos and the Cornettes and the Pritchards and all the old time wrestling guys. They talk about how no one has time to sell anymore. And boy, was it hit over my head yesterday because Kofi was selling. He was selling for a half an hour yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do miss this. Just this him not being able to get any offense in because he's just dead. Like you don't see that kind of selling anymore.
Bursts of fighting back, but still like absolute death. I mean, when Rowan put him through the table, after that, he never even tried to act. Because a lot of times they'll sell forever until it's time to get to the top rope, and then they'll hop to the top rope like they're completely unaffected, and they'll do all their business. He had a hard time doing absolutely everything to the point where you think he's legitimately hurt.
Yeah, that's why I thought he did such a really good job selling yesterday, and it really was a reminder that you don't see that stuff anymore.
I loved that they were all telling stories from guy to guy.
See, and you're going to have to go ahead.
Well, I love how, Cesaro really starts working on his back and cranking on his back. And it was a lot of submission holds with Cesaro, who was really crushing his back. And that's where the back injury selling starts. And then he goes, in comes Rowan. What's he start doing? Working on the back, crashing him into the ring post, dropping knees to the back. Samoa Joe comes out. They're working on the back, and now they're also he's working chokeholds. Like, they were all it's like they all got together and said, all right, we're going to work as a team instead of each person coming out and doing their own deal.
So I feel like I'm unqualified to comment on that because I didn't give the match my full attention. It was just kind of on for me because that's a long match, man. It was about an hour, wasn't it?
Well, is that kind of why you don't love Iron Man matches as much? Because you just know that you're going to watch an hour of stuff, and so you'll just kind of tune in at the end?
I don't think I have a problem with Iron Man matches. I just don't like that first one.
Yeah, you don't like that one. I'm just trying to think of another example of because it is a match where you know anything can happen near the end, but Kofi's going to get through at least a couple guys. Like when it started at 9, I knew, okay, this is going to be an hour match. Well, Rob was right about that. It's going to be an hour. So you knew you were in for an hour. So I see why you weren't paying attention. I did because my kids were asleep and I wasn't doing anything else.
Right. No, I understand that. I think I just didn't care as much as you did about that match. We talked about that last week. And that was something you were more lit up about than me. There are some great Iron Man matches though, and Iron Man matches are able to tell good stories too. Like Angle.
I guess I confuse it because I remember you said the one that everyone expects you to love the most, you don't like.
That match is long and boring. I hate to say it. I love those guys. WrestleMania 12's match is tough for me. But I mean, like Rock and Triple H at Judgment Day 2000, I think it was. That's a great one. Angle and Lesnar is great. I even watched the Hardy Boys versus the Bar from Great Balls of Fire a few days ago because I was watching the Hardy Boys DVD, which is why I was on that WrestleMania 25 kick last week too. Which I don't know if you got a chance to go back and watch that match, but if you haven't seen Hardy versus Hardy from WrestleMania 25 anytime recently, do yourself a favor. It's really, really good.
I want to watch that. And you mentioning the Hardys reminds me that I thought it was cool that a lot of the locker room started showing up to watch and cheer on Kofi in the back. I thought that was great.
I mean, I like it, but it also comes off as so corny to me.
It only comes off corny because of Nikki Cross. Nobody watches TV in a squat position clapping the whole time. She wasn't even looking at the screen. It's
funny for me to think about him as just doing that the whole time. Just all those guys just standing there and clapping. And I mean, what grown men would behave that way?
If it was going to be really realistic, they'd be standing by the curtain poking their heads around.
Yeah, or playing their Nintendo Switch, or cards or whatever in the back.
I love how Woods and Big E have been handling this. They've been doing such a good job. Their outrage at the end. Big E ripping his shirt down and coming out and just so mad at Daniel Bryan and knowing that they're helpless. They do anything and they blow it for Kofi. Like this is just, it's great storytelling. It was great. Vince McMahon, God, they got him over as a heel, man. I can't. I heard. Normally, I hear no chance. That's what you got. I get all excited, and you want to do this. You're so pumped, and now you hear it, and you're like, oh God, he's coming out to screw him. He's coming out to screw him.
It's almost like he's a big jerk.
Almost like he's pulling the Austin move. I thought it was so well done. You probably didn't enjoy it because you were able to write it in your head. And when I watch a comedy or a movie or a show and I see a joke coming and I can end the joke before they start to tell it, it discredits them to me.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
Outright me. You're supposed to outright me. And they didn't outright you last night. So you probably felt a little bored by that.
Yeah, and I don't love gauntlet matches. In fact, I dislike them.
But that was an actual gauntlet. That wasn't like a
Sure.
contest where, you know, the last person in can win a whole thing, and he was only in for a minute when someone else was in for 50 minutes. No, this could have ended the minute Kofi's pinned, the gauntlet match is over. Like, you've got to get through the gauntlet.
Benny thinks my shirt would make a better WrestleMania opponent than Baron Corbin for Kurt Angle.
I'm still upset about that. I know you're not happy about it either.
No, but that's who I thought they were going to go with. So again, outright me.
Right, but they won't.
Anything else we need to mention this week, or are we good to wrap things up?
I think that's it. I think that's it. Do you love Daniel Bryan as a heel as much as I do? I feel like you don't.
No, I do. I think he's doing a great job.
I feel like you don't.
And why are you feeling that way?
I don't know. I'm more excited about it.
I think that his green Daniel Bryan is the only time we've ever seen this in wrestling. Like, no one's ever done it. Plus, it really borders on real. So it's like, it's covering all the bases for me. No, I think he's doing a great job as a heel.
All right, good. Well, then I want to end. There's a big wrestler birthday today.
I just want to say I give it to Raw this week personally.
I give it to SmackDown.
That's fine. I understand. Whose birthday?
Oh.
Just no birthdays. Good night, everybody.